Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive, bringing you guys week 7 of the GBA. St Louis Rampardos taking on rival ShadyPenguinn and the New York Mankeys. If you guys are incredibly excited for this matchup, which you really should be, please show your love on that like button down below. I know we can obliterate 1,500 likes. Now, regardless of whether you're rooting for the Mankeys or the Rampardos, please be sure to support both channels. As you know, we're just trying to have a friendly competition here, just trying to give you guys something entertaining to watch. So just remember that. Try not to keep no hostility, man. Regardless of what happens, let's try not to have any hostility because people get really heated about these matches. You know, we're just trying to have a good time, man. We're just trying to have fun. So the Rampardos are 4-2, leading our division right now, tied for first place. The Mankeys are on a 4-game skate. He's gonna be looking to snap that losing streak against us right here, right now. We're gonna have a very epic match. In the description, guys, you can find your St. Louis Rampardos t-shirts if you want to grab one of those. They are absolutely phenomenal. Really good quality from our partner, ORAS. And last but not least, we are halfway through this season, pretty much. Who do you think has been our MVP or the most surprisingly successful Pokemon on our team so far? Let me know. Is it Blastoise? Is it Aggron? What Pokemon on our team on the Rampardos has surprised you the most based on its performance up to this point in the season? I'm going to connect to the internet now and get the match going against Mr. Penguinn, and I'll see you guys momentarily. Alright guys, we have connected. We are about to get this match rocking and rolling here. You guys better be hyped for this one. This is going to be a doozy. If you want to check out the team preview, of course, it is on the annotation on the screen or in the description below if you want to see what our build is going to be. I'm going to rock this out here. Let's see what his team is going to be here. I made some pretty bold predictions on what he's going to bring. I'm really hoping he actually does not bring Rhyperior or Zygarde, but I have a feeling he's going to obviously bring one of the two. I think I'm better prepared to deal with Rhyperior more than Zygarde, but we'll see how things go. This is going to be a very interesting matchup, man. I'm definitely pretty nervous going into this one. Not because I'm nervous of like the results or how things are going to go, but I'm just a little rusty, man. We haven't played in the GBA for a few weeks, and you know, it's been a little while since we had some matchups, and our last match was against the Detroit Steel Wings and Crimson Seabad, and it wasn't the best match we ever played, so we're trying to bounce back here and hopefully pick up a W. So we will see what happens. Oh man, I really want Herbert to put in some work this week. Making the debut for the Rampardos is Quagsire, one of our low tier picks. I'm trying to kind of get some usefulness out of our lower tier Mons, and it could do so much work against him if he does not carry the grass coverage. I know he's going to have it on Venusaur, but he may not have, like, if he doesn't carry the grass coverage, then it ends up being a great response to Rotom. It ends up being a great response to Milotic, especially if he doesn't carry Toxic and stuff like that. So I think Quagsire can be so money in this matchup if it works out. And then, you know, obviously you have Mens to potentially sweep late game. I think Victini can do some serious damage, hopefully breaking down that Milotic Venusaur little core there. It also can hit the Rotom pretty hard with, you know, with Psychic and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens, man. We're going to pivot with the rest of this stuff and kind of make it work. So I think he's kind of debating. Here we go. We're going to get to the team preview here and find out what Pokemon Mr. Penguinn is going to bring, and he is going to bring pretty much everything I predicted. He does not have a ground type though, however, which is absolutely phenomenal. He does not bring a ground type. Instead, he brings his Alakazam over the Rhyperior. So we actually predict his team pretty much on point here. No ground type is very, very surprising. But I like it. I like it a lot. So his leads are most likely Jirachi to set up rocks, or potentially Rotom to Volt Switch out. Those are the two leads that I predict him to lead with. I really like my potential lead of Victini against his Jirachi because he could fear Scarf. And if he's just like a regular Jirachi, I know I could take any hit from him, and I can actually OHKO with Blue Flare. So I really do like the potential Victini lead here, because if he leads with Rotom, like, it's not a big deal. I can swap if I have to, and Rotom's really not going to be able to do too much to me unless he's carrying T-Wave. And I can actually scout for that HP Grass as well if I want to right off the bat with the Rotom. Leading with Victini is really nice because I can kill that Jirachi right off the bat and keep him from setting up rocks, which again, he does not have a spinner. Blue Flare plus 2 Grass Knots actually does kill Milotic as well. So I'm going to go with that, man. We are going to lead with our Victini. Very important Pokemon for our team, but I think it could put in the work. And again, it does match up decently well against the Rotom. Let me just look against Rotom Heat really quick. Look at like a Scarf version. I can probably take the Yeah, we could take anything pretty well. So let's do that, man. We're going to leave with our Victini, our V-Drive here, and jump right into this matchup against Shady and see what he's going to do here, man. That Zam, we have to watch out for the sash on that thing. I didn't bring any priority, so we're going to have to be very careful. But I think Uxie is able to put in some work there. I think, you know, Aggron can obviously take some hits, and Salaman's going to outspeed. So he does bleed with the Jirachi. Now, fearing me to be scarfed, he has to switch here. If I'm scarfed, he gets destroyed. He might just go for U-turn, but my play is actually to just go for the blue flare here, because if he wants to get up rocks, he'll lose his Rachi right off the bat. We are max speed here, so he will definitely be able to outspeed this thing, and to me, it's worth it. If he wants to go into Milotic to take the blue flare, that's totally fine. That allows me to switch out and bluff that scarf. Allows me to do a couple different things. So that was my play. My play is just blue flare. You know, I'll kill the Jirachi, basically. So I don't think he's got to be really, really invested with this Jirachi defensively to be able to live the hit. I mean, let me see. Yeah, he could potentially live the hit if he's max HP with the special defense investment, but he'd have to be like specially bulky, which I really doubt he would be. So if he's scarfed, he may U-turn here. If he U-turns, then he's scarfed. If he hard switches out, which is probably what he's going to do, then I'm probably going to double out, or I'll switch out afterwards. I want to bluff that scarf, as I said in my pregame press conference. I do want to do my best to bluff the scarf Victini, at least early game, which will hopefully keep him from thinking that my Mence is scarfed. He might think I'm a Dragon Dance variant of Mence. But my play was blue flare here, 100%. Absolutely no doubt about it. And I'm led to believe that his Jirachi here is, of course, gonna try to set up stealth rocks. So we can kind of think that that's his first move. What am I missing here? He is gonna go for the body slam, so he is gonna outspeed us. So he either won the speed tie or he's scarfed. He gets the paralysis. Very unfortunate. Please break through. We get fully paralyzed on the first turn, and he is going to get very, very lucky there. That is not how I wanted to start off this matchup. We see the body slam, and that is not good. So he had a 60% chance to paralyze us. Not much I can do there. I got to go for the blue flare again. We are fully paralyzed. He might go. He's going to switch out here. So that's fine with me. Had I hit that, we would have probably knocked out the Jirachi. So very, very unfortunate there. We're going to get the blue flare off this time, though, and it is going to hit the Milotic super effective. He's going to see the, or not super effective. It's going to hit the Milotic. We see the leftovers in this thing on the Milotic. So he's either max speed Scarf Rachi, which is what I think he is. He might not be hazard setting now. So I can definitely take a Scald here. I definitely can. I kind of want to scout with Quagsire to see what this thing is running. I don't think he's going to HP Grass here. I'm going to go... So the problem is V-Drive is way less useful now. Way less useful. How useful is V-Drive now at this point? It can definitely put in some work against the Venusaur, I think, still, even with it being hurt like this. And I don't have any way to heal Bell off, so that really kind of bums me out. The Milotic, I can do 50% to him with a Grass Knot. He's going to do about 50% to us with a Scald. I'm going to go into Herbert here. If he makes the prediction and goes for an HP Grass, then he just makes a really good play. There's nothing I can do there. But, man, that paralysis really stinks. I wouldn't have cared about the paralysis if I hit the blue flare, because if I got rid of the Jirachi on the first turn, that would have been huge. That would have been absolutely huge, because it removes his potential Scarfer, which I do think he is Scarfed at this point, but... He's going to go for the Scald here. We do have the Water Absorb. So now I have an opportunity to see whether he is going to be the variant that does carry, whatchamacallit, HP Grass. So I think my play here is actually back into Victini. It's my most expendable member. His switch in here is actually probably Venusaur, predicting either the Scald or the potential Toxic. Either of those, mostly Toxic, would probably be his best play. Venusaur comes in, I get to go for... Blue Flare and hit it pretty hard, actually, and Victini, his usefulness is very much so diminished at this point because of his paralysis. So I think that's my play. I'm going to double into Victini at this point just to scout. He is going to switch out, so that leads me to believe I do wall his Milotic with my Quagsire. And he is going to indeed go into Takahata, which is, of course, his Venusaur, exactly as I predicted. So that works out really well. So now he's got his Mega Venusaur here, and I don't know if he's going to be defensive or offensive. My Psychic does about 85%. Blue Flare is going to do a little bit less, but I don't know if he would predict the switch and actually go into Jirachi right now, so I am going to go for the blue flare, which is a 2-hit KO here. He could have the earthquake, but I believe I can live it at this range. I can definitely live an earthquake unless he's like really offensively invested. So I think my play is to go for the blue flare here, because a psychic would do a lot, and if I could wear this thing down anyway, that would be a really big advantage, because I could revenge kill it with something else. I'm just trying to think here. Do I think the psychic is the proper play to do 80% to him? Or do I think the blue flare predicting the Jirachi is the right play? I think the blue flare is the right play, because if Jirachi comes in, it's going to hit it the hardest. Psychic does... I'm going to attack what's in front of me. I'm going to go for Psychic. I'm going to attack what's in front of me. He might just go for Synthesis. He might have Earthquake or Knockoff, one of the two. I do still want to at least bluff that I'm Scarfed here. Maybe he won't know. And I can get some chip damage off on some stuff. Tough predicament with V-Drive being paralyzed on that first turn. I mean, it was a 60% chance. What am I going to do? But I know that Herbert does wall his Milotic at this point, which is really nice. I know that I wall his Milotic. Unless he has Toxic. He could have Toxic, but I'm going to go for the Psychic, man. If he wants to switch, he's going to switch, you know? If he switches into Rachi, it's fine, but if I hit him with a Psychic here, if he's offensive, it might actually... I don't think it's going to kill, but it's going to do like 80%. So he's going to go for the Sleep Powder. He predicts the switch. I go for the Psychic here. I need a big hit here. We'll see if he's offensive or not. That's going to do about what I expected it to do. So we end up finding he has the Sleep Powder on his Mega Venusaur. So now we know he has Sleep Powder. He tries to predict our switch. Doesn't happen. That works out really well for us. Now I have an option here. He could go for the Synthesis. I'm going to go for the blue flare predicting a switch here. I don't lose anything by blue flaring because it will knock him out at this range. And if he goes into Rachi, I can hit him incredibly hard. If he goes into really anything, I can hit him hard, including the Sharpedo. I'm going to go for a blue flare. If he Synthesis, he's Synthesis. It's fine. He can't Synthesis because if he goes for Synthesis, Psychic still knocks him out, and he thinks I'm Scarf. He's going to switch here. Go into Jirachi, please. Go into Jirachi. He's going to go into Bruce, which is a Sharpedo. We're going to hit this thing really hard with a Searing Shot, but we get paralyzed. Ah! That's not good, man. That is not good. Okay. Well, at least he doesn't know that we're not Scarfed still. Okay, let's take a look here. Is this thing... Oh, man, this thing is going to put in the work against us. If he doesn't have HP Grass, actually, Ilk or Herbert can come in here. Okay, let me just take a look. Does this thing get Pursuit? I don't think it does, but I do want to take a look. Sorry about the dinging in my computer. It looks like there is no Pursuit on Sharpedo. So, he's definitely not going to protect here. He's going to go for a move. I think my play is to go into Herbert here. I want to keep scouting to see what he's going to do. V-Drive obviously can put in some work. So we are going to switch out here. His Venusaur is about 80 or 30%. And I want to see what kind of Sharpedo he's working with here. He's going to go for the Waterfall, so he is physically offensive Sharpedo. At least up to this point is what I can see. So now I have a couple different options here. I can actually go for the Scald, predicting a switch into something. If he goes into his Venusaur, I can hit him with a Scald, potentially knock him out if I get the burn, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Mega Venusaur, let's see here. He only showed, he's probably defensive. So I don't think I'm going to be able to knock him out with, I don't think I'm going to be able to knock him out with an Earthquake. Earthquake does about 20%. I don't think that's going to be enough. I do think I need to switch out here, pull double. Who do I double into? Probably Megatron. I'm going to go into Megatron here. Or I can go into Tesla. Tesla does not want to take a Waterfall. Megatron can take it. I don't think he's going to stay in. If he does, he would go for like a specially offensive Dark Pulse. I'm trying to think of what makes the most sense here. I really want to knock out that Venusaur if it comes back in. The other play is just go for Scald, which I think is the proper play. Scald is the safe play. How much do I do to this Sharpedo? How much do I do to a Sharpedo with Earthquake or Scald? Scald does about 25%. Earthquake does about 80%. This is a tough decision, actually. If nothing really wants to switch into a Scald, except for Milotic, and I don't want to... I could double and go into Jolteon. But that doesn't seem like a good... He's not going to go into Milotic because Milotic can't touch me. He's going to go into Venusaur, I think. I'm going to go for Scald here. It might be a bad play, but I'm going to go for Scald. He's going to switch out, so Bruce can't touch Quagsire either. And with a burn here... Oh, no, he's going to go into Sakura. He is going to go into his Milotic. So we're going to go for a Scald here. A burn would be really nice just to get the residual damage on this thing. We could probably chip away at this thing a little bit. We don't get the burn. Quite unfortunate here. I kind of want to see what this thing is going to do. I think he's going to try to Toxic us at this point in time. I can scout for that by going into Megatron, getting at my Stealth Rocks, which would be pretty nice. I risk getting burned then, which is kind of unfortunate because of the Scald, but then I don't get Toxiced. So that's nice. The other play would be going into V-Drive. I think my play actually is here is to, I can either Scald again. Do I want this thing Toxic or do I want it burned? I definitely want it Toxic if possible. I think Herbert's very valuable here. I don't know if I want Herbert to get Toxic yet. I think Megatron is my play predicting the Toxic. That's what I'm going to do. If he goes for Scald, he's not going to go for Scald because I have Water Absorb, so we're going to go into Megatron here. I'm going to get my rocks up because it's going to hurt that that Rotom coming in. I think he's going to go for Toxic here if he has it. Or Dragon Tail. He's got the Ice Beam. Okay, that's fine. I should be able to eat this pretty well. You can see how little that does. And we're sitting pretty good now. So I have the ability to go for Toxic now and really start to whittle this thing down. I also have the ability to go for my Stealth Rocks. Either or is good. I think the Toxic is the proper play at this point in time because it's going to affect pretty much everything aside from his Venusaur. And I don't think Venusaur is a switching because it dies if I go for an offensive move here. So I'm actually going to go for the Toxic at this point and hopefully hit the Milotic. And if he does indeed Scald Burn me, it's not the end of the world. I do have some other Pokemon on my team that that can make things work. I don't necessarily need Megatron offensively this matchup. I mean, I obviously don't want to get burned. We don't. I miss the Toxic, as always. I never can hit a Toxic. That's kind of annoying. Now he knows I'm going to go for Toxic, so I'm debating. I got to get my rocks up. I have to get my rocks up here. I need to get my rocks up just in case. Rocks are more important. He can't get rid of them. He's going to go for Scald again. If I don't get burned here, I actually can get the Toxic off on the next turn, I think. I am going to do that. Okay, so I think we can get the Toxic off on the next turn. And Megatron is very useful this match for me, but I think poisoning this Milotic is worth more to me than the alternative. So I'm going to go for Toxic here. I really want to poison this Milotic. He's going to go for Mimic here and steal our Stealth Rocks, I think. Wow. Wow, why? Why is he running Mimic? What was he trying to steal? He's got Mimic and likely Recover as his last move. We are going to Toxic him, and that is going to put us in a decent spot here. Now he has the ability to set up his Stealth Rocks, which is definitely kind of annoying. He is probably going to go for his Stealth Rocks here, so I'm actually going to go into Tesla predicting the Stealth Rocks because he wouldn't go for it otherwise. I think that is his play. So Tesla here is going to come in before Rocks. I think he's going to go for Stealth Rocks, and I'm going to be able to pressure him out with a big Volt Switch now. He goes for Scald, it's fine. I am Assault Fest. So he is going to go for the Stealth Rocks, so he gets those rocks up here. So that was a really interesting play, man. Props to Shady for running Mimic on Milotic. Pretty cool. Now we've got Jolteon in front of his Milotic. And defensive Milotic here, it's sitting at about 90%. It's going to take about half from our Volt Switch. So the play is to Volt Switch here. If he wants to switch out, that's fine. I really want to kind of hit him as hard as I can here and start to wear him down because I can actually knock out the Venusaur on the next turn if I wanted to. I could T-Bolt, actually. T-Bolt's an interesting play. It hits everything really hard, and the only thing that really wants to come in on the T-Bolt would be the Rotom. And I can easily Shadow Ball the Rotom, or go into something that wants to take a Fire-type move. How much am I going to do with Thunderbolt to the Rotom? The reason why I want a Volt Switch is just to save my Jolteon and protect it a little bit better. But if that Rotom comes in, I don't think he's going to stay in on me, unless he goes for Recover. How much is Rotom going to take? Rotom's going to take 25%. From the entry hazards. Shadow Ball is going to do another 30% if I hit him with a Shadow Ball. Not going to be nearly enough to knock him out. So I think Volt Switch is our play here. If he goes into Rotom afterwards, my response to Rotom is probably Quagsire, I would guess, or Uxie, but it'll outspeed us. I mean, I guess Victini could come in too at that point. The Thunderbolt does about 25%. To the Rotom. I think Thunderbolt is a good play here. We'll hit something really hard. If he wants to stay in, he's going to take a big hit. He is going to switch out, likely into his Rotom. Here comes Flameboy Luke. So the Rotom is going to come in. We're going to find out whether he's lefties, what kind of set he is. The Volt Switch would have been probably the better play. It would have given us some momentum, but I'm really not too concerned about it. I could find out if he's Scarfed here as well. And he is going to show the leftovers, so he is a bulky Rotom Heat. He might just go for... the... let me think here. He might just go for the Will-O-Wisp. He's not going to go for an Electric type move. I can go into V-Drive here and fire off a Psychic and potentially hit something pretty hard, including the Milotic coming in. I'm going to take Rocks damage. He's not going to Volt Switch. He wouldn't Volt Switch right now. Doesn't make sense. I think I can go into V-Drive. I think that's our play. I think V-Drive can put in some work here. Is that what I want to do? Because it's definitely our most least... I kind of want to bluff that I'm choiced in some way too. Maybe Scarf Jolteon. I'm kind of trying to play with his head a little bit here. We're going to go into V-Drive. It's going to take Stealth Rocks damage. Kind of unfortunate. It's also going to take whatever he goes for. Potentially an Overheat here. He is going to go for that Overheat, so he does show it. I should be able to live this, and that's also going to drop his special attack down quite a bit, which is nice, and obviously he's bulky. So we should live at this point. He is -2, and he's bulky, so... We're finding a lot of valuable information out from his team right now. So we saw the Overheat from this thing. We know it's leftovers. He's at about 60%. I want to make a note about that. All right, my play here is actually to go for Psychic. Even though the Rachi could come in, he's going to Volt Switch out and go into Rachi. That would be his best play. I'm going to go for Blue Flare, predicting him to switch. He's not going to Overheat again. I think he's going to go into Rachi. He's going to Volt Switch into Rachi. And if I can live it, we're good. I'm going to go for Blue Flare. He's going to go for the Volt Switch. If we live this and he goes into Rachi, that was going to be a great play on our part. We're going to live it. We can't switch in another set of Stealth Rocks, though, so this is it for Victini. Last chance here. Go into Jirachi, please. Please, please, please. To take the potential Psychic. That first turn Para killed us. Absolutely killed us. Had I just broken through that paralysis, man, that Jirachi would have been gone, and it would have been one less thing to deal with. That would have been very, very nice, but what are you going to do? If I can get Uxie in against that Milotic here, that could be really good too. If he goes into Milotic, that's fine as well. I'm not too concerned about that. That'll give me free into Uxie. I can set up a substitute, although I don't have any coverage for Irachi, which stinks. In comes Takahata, which is going to be his Venusaur. If I don't get paralyzed, we will knock this thing out. Come on, I need you to not get paralyzed this time, Victini. There we go, baby. Not bad. Victini's going to pick up the first kill of the match. Venusaur with Blue Flare. And we're going to get rid of Venusaur. So that's one monster threat down. And that is one thing that was standing in the way of Herbert or Quagsire from putting in the finest of work. In comes Jafar, which is his Genie here. And he might be trying to set up a substitute. So it is very, very important that I go for Blue Flare here and break his substitute if that's what he goes for. If he wants to just Shadow Ball us and knock us out, that's fine. But I really cannot afford to let this thing set up a substitute in our face. I definitely cannot do that. He's going to go for the Shadow Ball and just straight up knock us out. So that's fine with me. Alakazam goes for Shadow Ball. And it's going to knock out Victini. So we trade a Pokemon there. So Victini dies to Alakazam, Shadow Ball. Now the question is here, what is my switching at this point in time? Cerebro's pretty good. I can go into Tesla here and I can just Volt Switch, which is pretty good. Because he'll go for a Psychic type move. I Volt Switch into Cerebro. I know I could take a Shadow Ball pretty well with Uxie if I need to. I'm just trying to think here. If he's regular Alakazam, let's say he's offensive. I don't think he's Life Orb. I really don't, but I think Jolteon is our play here because if I break his... I want to break his Sash if he has one. I really feel like that's the proper play. I don't think we're going to kill him anyway in one hit. And if he goes for Psy Shock, he's going to do a lot to us. Volt Switch is not a 2-hit KO, but... Let me see how much Psy Shock does to me. Psy Shock actually has a chance to kill us, but if he's Scarfed, he can't do anything, so we're going to outspeed him 100%. I'm going to go for the Volt Switch here. He is more and more weak to Jolteon here every turn, basically. So my play is 100% Volt Switch here, I believe. Because I don't want to take a Psy Shock. He'll knock us out if he has Psy Shock. So I have to Volt Switch here. And if he wants to save his Focus Sash, he's going to have to switch out. So what I do next after this Volt Switch, I'm not sure. It's going to depend on whether he stays in or not. I think this is probably an opportunity for Aggron to come in. Unfortunately, Aggron is going to be pretty much killed at that point, but that brings us another switch into Jolteon. So I highly doubt this thing is Scarfed. I believe his Rachi is Scarfed. And Scarf Rachi is definitely scary. But Scarf Rachi also opens the door for Uxie to put in more work if I get up that substitute. And all I need to do is get that Milotic in for free, and I can sub up on its face. Same thing with Rotom. I could sub up on the Rotom too, because he's probably bulky Rotom, because he's got the lefties, so he probably doesn't have any speed investment. And if he does, it's very little. We'll probably outspeed. So this is definitely our play, is to Volt Switch here. Preserve Tesla, which is very, very important for this matchup at this point, because it is able to pretty much beat everything in its team. Sharpedo can beat me, but it does a lot. It does a lot. It's going to hurt the Rachi. It's going to really kill the Milotic, which is what I need. I need something that can beat the Milotic, because Quagsire can beat it one-on-one, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. He's going to just switch out here, so he wants to preserve that Sash. That is totally fine with me. He's going to go into Luke here, Flameboy Luke. He's going to take Stealth Rock's damage, and he's going to take this this Volt Switch here. And this is where I think it's a little early to bring in our Uxie because of the Jirachi. But the Jirachi's also... the Jirachi's scarfed, I think. So let me think about this for a second. If I go into Uxie here, and I'm going against the Rotom Heat, and he's defensive. Let's say he's defensive, Rotom Heat. If I... Overheat does break the sub, Volt Switch does not. And I should outspeed him. He has to have a good amount of speed investment for me to not outspeed him. The problem is, if he goes for Will-O-Wisp and he burns us because he outspeeds us, he has to have a lot of speed investment to outspeed us. He could be... I feel like he's got to be bulky. Got to be bulky. The other play would be going into Herbert and firing off a Scald and just kind of seeing what kind of Rotom this thing is. Seeing if it has anything to hit me. I think the sub on Cerebro is the play here, though. The problem is I'm just walled by Jirachi at this point. But if he's scarfed, maybe I'm not. Let's do that. We're going to go into Cerebro here. This is the play. It might be a misplay. He could have like Pain Split or something, which could be very, very... it could really kill us if he's got Pain Split. But he's probably got Will-O-Wisp, Volt Switch. He's got Volt Switch, Overheat, Will-O-Wisp. So we're going to find out. Actually, his leftovers went before ours. I believe that means he's faster than us, but I'm not sure because I switched in. I think he's faster than us. I'm aborting this mission here. I'm getting the heck out of here. I don't think this is the right play for us. I think our play is to go back into Tesla. Or go into Herbert, because Herbert's going to take both hits easily, and I can take a Willow. I don't want to get burned, but I can take the Will-O-Wisp as well. I think he's faster than us, which is not good because I don't want to get burned. It's not worth getting burned because that's really going to hinder our ability to set up on him, because it's going to negate our leftovers, which we really need. Herbert can definitely come in on this thing, but do I care if Herbert is burned? Like, defensive Rotom Heat is not going to do anything from an overheat. It's going to do 30%. It's nothing. But do I want to get burned? I kind of want to go into Jolteon here, because Jolteon can come in. It doesn't care about an overheat. It can live the overheat easy. And I can take the Volt Switch. Defensive Rotom against Jolteon. The overheat's going to do like 50%. I really need to preserve this Jolteon as high as I can. But I think our play here is to make the bold play into Jolteon. Although Shadow Ball is not going to knock him out at this range. I think I got to go into Herbert and just take the Will-O-Wisp. We're going to go into Herbert here. I think that was a mistake going into Cerebro there. I feel like the Rotom's a little bit fast than us. I don't have any speed investment, so he is going to go for what? The Willow? He's going to go for the T-Wave, so that works out really well. It's a good thing I scouted for that. So we see the T-Wave on him now. And now I can pressure him with a nice little Scald, which I really like, because if the Milotic comes in, it can't touch me. Or I could double out. Scald really hurts the Rachi. I don't think he's going to have HP Grass at this point. And even if he does, I don't think it'll kill, because he's defensive. If he has HP Grass, does it kill? I don't think he does. Yeah, it doesn't kill. I think my play is Scald here, because it kills the Rotom. It hurts the Sharpedo. And if the Milotic comes in, it's not a big deal because I can just sit in front of it. I'm gonna go for Scald. If he has HP Grass, amazing prep. Nothing I can do about it. But if I could burn that Sharpedo, that could be really good. I probably shouldn't be playing risky with Herbert because it's very clear that Herbert stops Milotic. It looks like it's probably gonna be able to stop the Sharpedo. He is going to go for the overheat here. Very interesting play. It's not going to do too much to us. I know I'm taking about 30% from it. You can see after lefties, that's not going to do anything. And Herbert's actually going to be able to pick up his Scald kill here. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. Yeah, it's going to do about 40%. So, unless he's specially bulky, he's not. So, Quagsire kills Rotom Heat with Scald. And Herbert's going to get that lefty recovery and bring him back up to about 80%. And I think Herbert is going to be able to put in the work here because it walls a lot of things. It walls Milotic and it walls Sharpedo at this point. He still has his Rachi, which has U-turn, could have Energy Ball, and he still has his Alakazam, which obviously can hurt us. So I think my play is actually going into... he has nothing to take a Volt Switch now from Jolteon. If I pressure him with Volt Switch now, we are going to be looking really good. If he goes into Zam, I just fodder off Aggron at this point. If he goes into... He won't go into Sharpedo. It's either Zam or Jirachi. Because I beat Milotic one-on-one. Ice Beam's not going to do anything to me. I don't know what Milotic's last move is, but I'm thinking it's Recover. It's got to be Recover. And I'm basically setting up to try to get Mence a sweep once I break the Sash on Alakazam. Because now I can freely Earthquake with Mence. I will outspeed Sharpedo at +1. Herbert does look like it's going to beat the Sharpedo. Uxie can take one hit from Sharpedo. And I can sit in front of the Milotic. Actually, if he goes Milotic right now, I could probably go Uxie. Because he's not going to Scald. He's going to Ice Beam. And I can eat it and then sub up. And then I have a sub in front of him. But I still can't beat Rachi with Uxie. I'm just explaining my entire thought process to kind of give you guys my my insight here. Just kind of breaking through everything. So I know we got rid of the Rotom, we got rid of the other stuff. What is he going to go into? His Alakazam? He's going to go into his Rachi here. I believe he is Scarfed, and there's really no reason for me not to believe that. So I'm going to go for the Protect here, just to scout out what move he is going to go for. If he goes for a U-turn, that's fine. I would just stay in on that. We'll see what he's going to do. He's going to go for the Body Slam, so he does want to go for that Body Slam. And I believe that that is his best move to hit us with. So this is a really good opportunity for me to go in my Aggron now. And I could fire off an Earthquake. He could paralyze us. But I think Aggron come in here. It could definitely take the Body Slam. And I can keep Herbert as high of health as possible. If this Rachi is not Scarfed, that's totally fine. I don't want to get paralyzed with Herbert, though. Let me actually see. This is a really stupid question, but Body Slam, Paralyze, Ground type. Can I get paralyzed with Body Slam? So, no, you can definitely get paralyzed through Body Slam, I believe. Yes, so I can be paralyzed through Body Slam, which is what I thought. So I don't want Herbert to be paralyzed. I do not. Because Herbert is very important. It beats the Sharpedo. It gives us something to take on the Sharpedo. So let's see if this Rachi is Scarfed or not. I think I can actually take Rocks and 2 Body Slams here, too. I really do. And if I wear this Rachi down, we're going to be in really good shape. He goes for Body Slam again. I'm hoping no Para, but 60% chance. We eat that. And no Para. That's huge. Okay, so his play here is to Milotic, actually. His play is into Milotic. He has no business staying in here. His play is to Milotic. I want to be cheeky and switch into Uxie, but it's not worth the risk. It's just not. It's not worth it. I do want to pull the double here because he knows he's going to lose his Rachi. Do I make the play here? Because I can't touch Milotic if it comes in. But the problem is if I go into Jolteon right now and he goes into Milotic and I go into Jolteon and if I go into Jolteon, he goes for Body Slam, he's going to destroy me. He's going to destroy me. I feel like my play is Earthquake. I feel like I have to Earthquake. It's too risky, man. I'm still feeling like I have a good chance at this match here. And the play is definitely to switch here. The play is 1,000,000% to switch. Mega Aggron against Milotic. Because all I can do is Earthquake to Milotic, and it's not going to do anything. He's probably going to have Recover. He could Scald Burn us, etc. I'm going to make the play, man. I'm going to make the play into Tesla. It's risky, but I'm going to do it. He switched. That's huge. Go into Milotic. Yes. Yes. Perfect play. Perfect double. We're going to save Aggron, which does help us against the Rachi. We can live one more Body Slam. I'm going to switch out. We're going to go straight into our Jolteon here, which does get a free Volt Switch now against this Milotic. And because he doesn't have his Rotom anymore, none of that stuff, we are in really good shape. I'm debating on the T-Bolt. but I do think Volt Switch is the proper play here. The reason why I'm debating on the T-Bolt is because I can definitely live a Scald, but if I get burned, that could really hurt us a little bit. I think the play is the Volt Switch. Let me think about this. If, let's say he's physically defensive, Milotic, I know he really can't, all he can do is Scald us. All he can do is Scald us. Let me see here. And I have Assault Vest, so I'm only taking 22% from Scald. It's not even gonna do that much. I got a Volt Switch, man. Jolteon is too valuable at this point in the match. Far too valuable at this point in the match. Far too valuable. I can Volt Switch and go into Uxie, or go into Quagsire. He might just recover. I think I have to Volt Switch. I'm gonna Volt Switch. He's gonna stay in. I could have Thunderbolted, but I think Volt Switch was the proper play. It's gonna do a lot of damage. It's gonna force him to actually recover at this point in time. It's gonna allow me to go into our Quagsire here. I could potentially, I could make a prediction and go into Cerebro, but again, I don't want to risk that burn on our Cerebro. I think the recover is probably coming here. I just don't want to risk the burn on Cerebro. It's just not worth the risk. It's not worth it. How much does Jirachi Body Slam do to Victini? Or to Uxie? Can he break it? I don't know if he can. If he's Scarfed, and he has Body Slam, let's say he's Adamant Scarf, like a good amount of investment, he has Body Slam. Body Slam does not break our Substitute on our Uxie. The only thing it does is actually U-turn. Ironhead has a chance to break it, depends on his investment. Herbert is the safest play here, but the problem with Herbert is if he recovers, actually I think Herbert's the safest play because I just click Scald basically at this point. He's not going to beat us with Ice Beam. I think I just click Scald with Herbert because if he switches in Jirachi, it could get burned. I'll break the Sash and the Alakazam. It's the right play. He's going to go for Ice Beam. I could have went into Uxie. Would have been a really epic decision, but I'm going to take this Ice Beam. It's going to do a lot of damage because he's going to crit us, but I have the ability to go for Recover here if I want to. I could also keep the pressure up with Scald. I think Recover is the proper play here, obviously, just because of the Sharpedo. Scald is a really interesting play here. I think he's going to recover too. I definitely can live a hit, but I have to be at high health here. I have to go for the Recover. I have to go for Recover. But what this does for me is if he recovers here as well, which he very well might, I'm able to go into Uxie on the next turn because he's not going to, he does have Recover. So we find his full moveset. I could have went into Uxie, but I needed to recover off this damage. It was worth it. It was worth it. So Recover's his last move. It's going to boost him back up. He is taking this toxic damage. His play now is to 100% go for Ice Beam. 100% go for Ice Beam. I can go for Earthquake here and really put in some damage, especially against that Rachi. I win this stall war against this thing. Let me think about this. The thing is, a timely placed Scald Burn wins me the match here against something else. I can easily take Ice Beams from this thing all day. I know I can. Ice Beam does 27%. It doesn't do anything. I'm at full. Earthquake is the play here because it's going to hit the Jirachi at half. It's going to bring it down to the point where I could beat it out with Scarf Ments or something. Earthquake does about half to Jirachi. Does about half. And what does Shadow Ball from Jolteon do to Jirachi? I know he's Scarf though. That's the only problem. About half. It's close. With Rocks damage, I think we're all right there. I think Earthquake's the play because he can't do anything to us otherwise. And Alakazam is not going to want to take an Earthquake. What does Sharpedo take from the Earthquake? What does Sharpedo take from an Earthquake? Sharpedo's going to take half, or almost, it almost kills it. So his only play here is to go into Zam. I'm going to go for EQ. He's got to just keep recovering, but we're going to eventually beat this thing. He's going to go for Recover again, but the toxic damage is going to wear this thing down. I'm only going to do about 20% to him, but I lose nothing by clicking Earthquake here because it is going to weaken the rest of his team. And once I weaken his Rachi just a little bit more, then Uxie can set up a Calm Mind against him. Milotic can actually win. So he's on like turn 3 or 4 of Toxic now. So it's going to be doing about 20%, I think. Maybe a little bit more. Let's see how much it does. This is going to really kind of factor. It's doing a lot. Yeah, he's got only a few more turns left of dealing with this. So Earthquake is definitely the play. Earthquake is 100% the play. The only thing that I'm... yeah, see, Sharpedo can't beat Herbert. So he's going to go for the Ice Beam here, try to get some chip damage off. And He does a good amount. No freeze, which is nice. I appreciate the no freeze. And I think this is when I go into... No, I can't go into Uxie yet. Can't do it. Can't go into Uxie yet. Not worth it. He's going to either recover here or... Herbert's putting in the work, man. I think we beat him this turn. Yeah, we beat him this turn if I EQ, and that's my play. I EQ here. We're going to have to fodder something off. It's probably going to be Aggron after this turn. Because after this, if I kill my Lodic right now with Earthquake, he goes for Ice Beam. I think actually my plays recover here, believe it or not. I think my plays recover. No, it's not. I gotta stay offensive. How much does Sharpedo do to me with Crunch? Or how much does he do with Crunch and Dark Pulse? Let's look at Dark Pulse. Not much. Not much. Unless he's really invested. And I beat it with Earthquake. I definitely want Herbert as high health as possible. I can actually protect here as well. The thing is, I don't want to give him a free switch into anything. That's the thing I'm worried about, is I don't want him to get a free switch into Rachi right now. That's why I've been putting the pressure on him with Earthquake. It's going to put me about 60% after lefties. Do I recover? I think he's foddering off his Milotic at this point. It's a tough decision to make here. A very tough call. Earthquake kills Milotic on this turn. Well, it might not, but if he just Ice Beam's going to do about 20% to us, 30%. Bring us down to about half. We'll get the recovery. That puts us in decent range. I don't know. Like, Herbert is our win con right now. That's why I'm being very careful with him. I could go into Uxie now. Again, I just don't have enough firepower against the Rachi yet for Uxie to be useful. I think the play is to recover. Let's go for recover. He might just try to get as much damage as he can. He's going to switch. I should have EQ'd. I made a misplay there. I should have just went for the offense. He's going to go into Jafar, which is his Genie, his Alakazam, and I make a very big misplay by going for recover there. It's not the end of the world, but it is a very big misplay. I should have Earthquaked to break this thing's sash, and I made a misplay there. So what are we going to do? Not the end of the world. I go into Megatron here. Megatron goes down. I bring in Tesla, and I Volt Switch. Is basically our play. Break this thing sash. I go into Earhart and I just click Earthquake and knock him out at that point. And something dies basically because I'm scarfed. Let me think about this. Salamence versus Alakazam. How much does my my Earthquake do? Offensive Zam. Earthquake does a lot. So I think our play here is into... Now if he goes for Psyshock, it is not into Tesla. Our play is into what? Is our play into... No, our play is into Megatron. We sack off Megatron here. That is our play. Our play is into Megatron. Yes, that is our play. We sack off Megatron here. I made a mistake there. I should have EQ'd. I really should have EQ'd. I went to recover to be safe, just in case he went for Ice Beam to sack off his Milotic, to try to get a free switch in. But he makes a really good play there. Megatron is definitely dying to any hit here. He goes for the Energy Ball, so he does show the Energy Ball on his Alakazam. Very, very big deal. And we actually live it, which is hilarious. My play is to Earthquake. He's going to knock us out with Energy Ball, but it's not even a big deal at this point. Earthquake is definitely our play. Because he's going to kill us anyway. I could Avalanche too, but Earthquake's our play. He'll just knock us out. He's going to go for Energy Ball again. So Alakazam kills us. Kills Aggron with Energy Ball. So he does carry the coverage on it. So Quagsire does not beat Alakazam at this point. Tesla comes in here, Volt Switches, breaks his sash. I go into Cerebro. If he stays in, he keeps his sash, that's fine. If he switches out, he takes a Volt Switch, and I get some chip damage on something and go into Cerebro. I think Tesla's our play here. Because I Volt Switch out. If he goes for Psyshock or something, it's not a big deal. I could take it. I can go into... actually, I think if I could win it here. I'm going to go to Tesla. We're gonna Volt Switch. If this thing's scarfed, which it could actually be scarfed, I haven't ruled that out. He hasn't switched moves yet, so there is the possibility that this is a Scarf Zam. I am gonna Volt Switch here though, because I think his play is to switch, and if he is scarfed, we'll find out. So he's gonna switch out. Definitely the right play on his part. He's gonna go into his Sakura, and that's gonna kill the Milotic at this point in time. He wants a free switch into something, which is totally fine by me. This is where Uxie gets to come in at this point, I think, and potentially put in some work. So Jolteon kills. I have to be very, very smart about how I play this right now. Okay. So he knows what I'm going into. Let's think about this. Salamence comes in. Cerebro comes in. It baits out the Sharpedo. If I go into Cerebro. Milotic's dead now. So Milotic's dead. If I go into Cerebro, he is going to want to go into his Sharpedo. I'm going to be at 171. I'm going to take rocks damage. I do have a lot of defense investment on my Uxie for his Sharpedo. And if he's like adamant, like an adamant crunch, is going to do about 85% max to me. So he does have a chance to knock me out with max attack, adamant, life orb, crunch against my Uxie, especially after rocks damage. I think Salamence is worth saving here because Earthquake puts in the work. I need to basically get an opportunity against that Zam. I think Cerebro is the proper play here because Herbert can't come in against the Zam. He doesn't have sub now at this point, I don't believe. I think Cerebro is the right play. It brings in the Sharpedo though. What do I want him to bring? If I go into Herbert, he's gonna bring in Zam. I can protect, then I can go into Cerebro. Find out what kind of set he is. I think that's probably the better play. Man, this is a tough decision to make, guys. I'm gonna go into Cerebro. I think that's the right play. I hope it's the right play. We're gonna find out. 149. All right, man. With the leftovers, what does it put us at? Let's see if I can live this crunch or not. 160 out of 182. 160 out of 182 puts us at 87.9. 879. Sharpedo does 85.7 max with Adamant, Life Orb, attack. Adamant, Life Orb, Sharpedo does 85.7 max. We can 100% live the hit from Sharpedo if I want to take a crunch. If he goes into Alakazam, that's fine. I'll just go for, I guess I could try to sub up on the Alakazam. He's going to Shadow Ball us if I do that. This Alakazam probably has a Sash, and it's really annoying. I just want to break that Sash. That's what I'm trying to do. Just break it. Shadow Ball does 40%, so I can definitely take a hit from it and go for Psyshock. Psyshock actually does more to Alakazam than Grass Knot does. It's funny. So, if Rachi comes in, that's totally fine. I can't touch Rachi with Cerebro, but I can substitute and hope he does not paralyze us with a Body Slam. That's really what I have to go for. If he does do that, it's kind of unfortunate. I just, at that point, I guess I let Uxie go down. I guess I have to let Uxie go down. And then I guess I go into Herbert. Man, this is getting down to the wire here, and man, this is a tough game. He's gonna go into Rachi, so he's gonna go into his Jirachi. He's gonna take Stealth Rocks damage. If he Body Slams and paralyzes us, it is gonna be very, very unfortunate. But I have nothing that can come in and take a Body Slam and wants the paralysis except, I mean, Herbert's the only thing that can come in and take it. And if Herbert takes the paralysis, it's going to really hinder his ability to be effective because I need Herbert to beat the Sharpedo. I don't think this thing has coverage for me. He's going to U-turn, I think. He's going to U-turn. If he paralyzes me, he paralyzes me. My play is to substitute here, I believe. I'm going to go for substitute. If he goes for the Body Slam and gets the pair, he does. He's going to go for the U-turn. So I make the proper prediction here. I am going to be able to get up the substitute. He does not know I'm going to go for substitute here. So his play could be either into Alakazam or Sharpedo. Hopefully Sharpedo. He does show the U-turn on the Jirachi, which leads me to believe it is indeed Scarfed, which I kind of have thought for a while now. Especially with Mimic on Milotic to Stealth Rock. I believe the Jirachi is Scarfed. So Body Slam, U-turn, probably Iron Head. Here comes the Sharpedo. Perfect situation. I'm going to get my substitute up now, and I'm going to be able to hit this thing with a Grass Knot. And after Life Orb damage, it might actually knock him out. Depending on what kind of spread he's running, we might actually be able to knock this thing out. So Sharpedo has his Life Orb. And Sharpedo is going to take 86% max from this Grass Knot. I'm going to go for it. If he goes into Rachi, that's fine. He has to break my sub. He's going to go for the Crunch here. I see the Crunch. This has a chance to knock him out, especially if he's Life Orb. The Life Orb damage is going to be huge here. If he has a Life Orb, we will knock him out. Does he have Life Orb? He does. This is going to be very close, whether this Grass Knot kills him or not. This is going to be very, very close here. We're going to go for it. And it does not knock him out, but it puts him in Life Orb range. It does put him in Life Orb range. Very, very good. He's going to get a speed boost. How much does the homie Quagsire Take from a crunch from Sharpedo. 37% to 45% max. That's adamant. Taking about 40%. I think the play here is actually to save Cerebro because it can handle the Alakazam and hit it for a decent amount of damage. Herbert can come in here, take the crunch, and is going to be doing just fine because I get the leftovers recovery. Bruce dies to his own life orb, and we'll be all right, and I get to save Cerebro. I'm going to Herbert here. If he predicts that and doubles out, that's fine. It's not really a play that it matters to me. He might actually go for, no, he wouldn't do that. So he's probably going to go for the crunch here, and I should be able to live it. Easy, no problem. He's going to die to his own life orb, I believe. And that should do about 30%. Yeah, we eat that. We get the defense drop. Kind of unfortunate, because it means we can't beat the Jirachi, but Sharpedo dies to life orb. And that puts us in a good spot. That puts us in a really good spot. This Alakazam is very scary still. This Alakazam is very, very scary, but Herbert does beat his Jirachi at this point in time. Here comes Jafar. I have no reason to believe this Alakazam has Substitute. I have no reason to believe that. Absolutely no reason to believe that. My play here is to go into my Uxie. Sacrifice Uxie, go into Jolteon, and go for the Volt Switch. That is my play. Or do I just sacrifice Herbert here? The thing about keeping Herbert is Herbert can beat the Jirachi. Earhart outspeeds, speed ties Jirachi. Not going to take an Ice Punch though, but the Earthquake is very useful. And Cerebro can't touch Jirachi. So I'm going to go into Cerebro here. He's going to knock me out, but maybe. He goes for Energy Ball. My play is to go into Uxie 100%. Herbert still is very valuable because of his Jirachi. And if for some reason he is not sashing his Scarf, then I really need that. He's going to go for the Energy Ball here. I should be able to live this. Not going to be able to live another one, though. Definitely not going to live another one. But this does give me an opportunity to go into my Jolteon after this. And Volt Switch. How much does Jolteon save from Alakazam? Let's say he's offensive. Let's say he's Life Orb, just out of curiosity. Energy Ball. Does about 35% to Jolteon, so I could definitely take it. I'm going to go for the Psy Shock here, just in case. He's going to knock us out with the Energy Ball, that's fine. Not a big deal. Alakazam's going to beat Uxie, that's fine. So Alakazam beats Uxie with Energy Ball. Now our play is to go into Tesla and to click Volt Switch, I believe. The problem is if he's faster than us. Would he be faster than us? This is going to come down to the wire, man. I guess the play is Jolteon and then go for Volt Switch. I'm going to assumingly outspeed. Go into Salamence. Salamance's going to have to take a hit. How much does Salamence take from the hit? Can Salamence take the hit? It should be able to. And it outspeeds and I can just click Earthquake. He's not going to HP Ice. I could definitely live any hit. A Psychic actually would kill us if he's Life Orb. Timid Life Orb Psychic would kill us. I don't think he is though. What about Modest? How much does Modest? He's not gonna be Modest either. But I should be able to live it. So we're gonna go into Tesla. We're gonna Volt Switch, and we're gonna switch into our Salamence. And we're gonna click Earthquake, and we're gonna hope that this thing is not Scarf for one, and two, we can win this matchup. We're gonna Volt Switch. If he's Scarfed, he'll switch here, I think. Shadow Ball might have been a good play too, but I just don't want Tesla to take the damage because Tesla actually beats Alakazam otherwise. It's the fastest thing on my team. I don't think... This is a tough play for him to make. If he's Sash, he needs to save the Sash in this thing. And I have two Scarfers. Or I have a Scarf Zam, so Zam comes in after this. The problem is if Rachi has Ice Punch, then I can't do anything, so I have to scout for Ice Punch too, actually. So my play actually is if he goes into Rachi here, I actually go into Quagsire because I need to scout for the Ice Punch on Salamence because it's a speed tie, and I'm not gonna live in Ice Punch. Oh man, this is coming down to the wire. These matches always come down to the wire. It's ridiculous. Come on, Tesla. I don't think he'd run Scarf Zam and Scarf Rachi. I really feel like the Rachi Scarfed. I don't think the Zam is. I think the Zam is sashed. Which is why he's been preserving it so it doesn't take the hit from Jolteon. He would have stayed in by now at this point. If we outspeed him, we're going to be good because I could live one hit. He's going to stay in this time. So that leads me to believe he is Focus Sash. I do have to go into my Salamence here because I cannot take an Energy Ball. I gotta go into my Salamence and hope that I can live any hit he goes for. I'm gonna take 25% from the Stealth Rocks. I should be able to live any hit unless he goes for the HP Ice, unless he makes the play of the Sentry here. He's gonna go for Psychic. I should be able to live this unless he's Life Orb. We should be able to live it. Oh, we do. Whew. I click Earthquake now, and if he's not Scarf Rachi, or if we speed tie and win the speed tie, or he's not Jolly, we win. I'm gonna go for Earthquake, because he's not Scarf Zam. We just saw Psychic. I click Earthquake, and I think we win. Mence kills Alakazam with EQ. Now it's down to... I'm Jolly max speed, so I speed tie with this Jirachi. No doubt about it. I speed tie 100%. If he's fully speed invested. He's got to be Jolly max speed though, which would be weird. I'm +1. We click Earthquake. This is our play. We're Scarfed. He is actually going to be faster and miss the Zen Headbutt, and we are going to win the match. I don't think that Zen Headbutt mattered, guys. He would have been locked in a Zen Headbutt. He would have been playing against the flinch game against Quagsire and would have had to live a bunch of EQs. I don't know. We get the speed tie there. We do get some hacks in that match with that para on the Victini, but Mence is going to kill Jirachi with EQ, and we're going to pick up the W. I believe that was a 3-0, right? So Jolteon, Quag, and Salamence all coming out on top with the W. Excellent match against Shady, guys. Once again, I look forward to facing him in Little Cup over the next couple weeks, and we're gonna solidify our spot in the top of our division, guys. Amazing match. Please go watch Shady's perspective. I'm definitely gonna watch it. Should be really epic. We always have crazy matches when we battle. So that was nuts, guys. Show your love on that like button down below if you enjoyed, and that's gonna be it for me, guys. We're able to pull out the W and move to 5 wins and 2 losses. We're doing really well so far this season. We started to pick it back up, and I'm feeling really good about how we've been playing. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.